Games at Brrraaains A Head-Banging Life here, doing 10 things, a Valentine's special 10 things. 10 things we love about My Bloody Valentine and My Bloody Valentine 3D. Yes, we're combining two movies into one. Reason being is because one's an original, one's a remake. It is that time of year, and really didn't want to wait to 2021 to do My Bloody Valentine 3D. No. Yeah, I don't want to watch it again. I've seen it twice now. Once for the review on the site, once to do this. Yeah. That's enough. Yeah. So we're combining both My Bloody Valentine, which was released in 1981, and My Bloody Valentine 3D, which I think was 2009?
Yes, I looked up.
2009. We, of course, have 10 things we hate. That will be a video to watch in the future. But for now, it is 10 things we love about these two movies. Combining it into one, basically. Try not to focus too much on one over the other.
Yeah.
But it's not always easy, you know? I will say, before we get into it, I don't think either of them are terrible movies.
No.
Like, here's the thing. The natural expectation is to go, well, the original's great. The remake / 3D version is terrible. But I actually don't think it is terrible. No. It's got terrible things about it, and we will get into that. Yeah. But I also think the original has bad stuff about it. I think the remake has some good stuff about it. Some stuff that's better than the original. So I think they're both decent enough movies. Yeah. I mean, if you're going to watch one, watch the original. It's far superior. Yeah. But when you hear remakes, particularly in the era that it was, when you're getting the Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street and all that, I think this gets lumped in with there with the likes of The Fog and all that. They are terrible remakes. Yeah. This isn't one. A terrible remake. Okay? Yeah. Right. 10 things we love. Get us started then.
Yep. The small town vibe. Already made you feel invested. So like in cities, big faces get lost. More in the first film than in the second film. But I did like the whole idea of it being a small town and you had one place that, so like the mines, that was where you work, that was your community, all revolved around one place. So
yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. It's not something I personally picked out in either of the films, but I understand what you're saying. It does have a very small town vibe. You know, I think more in the first one because of the bigger cast. Where it kind of like that's just what you do. You're at a certain age. You probably you work. Everyone works in the mines. Yeah. Who isn't working in some shops? You all go to the same parties. You look forward to these it's something that's so foreign to us in a country like this. Yeah. We don't have these sort of things, you know.
Especially like related to like with school, like especially American films. There was like high school dances and homecoming. Not like there's so many events and stuff. It seems a bit.
Well, just the idea of having like a town Halloween, a town Valentine's dance is weird, but it does. I do get what you're saying. Well, kind of not tying into that, but sticking with the 1981 movie, I feel like it feels like a Valentine's movie. In fact, I think it embodies it certainly way more than a remake. But that's something to touch upon in a hate video. But I think if you're looking for you want to watch a Valentine's horror, you're getting down with your wife or boyfriend or husband or girlfriend or whatever, whoever you're with. Well, don't know why I'm bloody listing them. Yeah. Fucking dog, cat, Jesus. Jesus himself, yeah. Whatever you do on Valentine's, you want to watch Valentine's Horror and you've never seen this is the one you should watch. There aren't many Valentine's related horror movies out there, and even less that embody it. The 1981 one really does. From the visual aesthetics of it to how it ties into the overall plot. I think it is the ultimate Valentine's Horror. Yeah.
I think I had something similar with that. Yeah, no, I think, I do agree with that, but I don't think I touched on it.
Okay.
I put my thing was the mask. I thought it was simple yet effective, so it's used practically. So like, unlike the Scream one, that's the serial killer. This is just someone's uniform.
Yep.
Used to a sinister effect.
Yeah.
So I like the idea of that.
Yeah, and we double up on this, but why did you choose mask? See, I went with the killer's outfit because to me it's the entire ensemble. From the outfit to the gloves to the boots, the entire miner's outfit, as well as the gas mask.
I think just in like serial killers, a lot of it is focused on masks. So my head was just to compare it directly. So obviously, Scream is just a mask. Well, mask and a cape.
I mean, everyone's got an outfit. It's like Michael Myers' mask is iconic, but it's part and parcel of the boiler suit.
Yeah.
Freddy Krueger's glove and hat is iconic, but it's as much about the red and green jumper and so on. Do you see what I mean? Yeah. But I know what you're saying. I had it as well. I think it's a really good one. I think it's a wicked outfit and works well in both films. I think both films it works well. Yeah. Because it's basically the same fucking thing, but it's a very simplified idea. that allows a villain to hide their face while also being intimidating.
Yeah.
No arguments there. Yeah.
I'll go again.
Yeah. Well, that was my one. Yeah.
Oh no, I did put the references to Valentine. So my next one is the deaths are nice and gory. So I particularly enjoyed the tumble dryer,
Okay.
the jaw off, and the lady getting smashed into the ceiling because that showed his real power. So the lady getting smashed into the ceiling in the remake, not second film, the remake. I know she was quite a petite, tiny lady, but it just showed like it's quite extreme.
Yep.
Oh, she was literally throwing her through the ceiling. So I quite enjoyed that one.
Yeah, I've got something kind of similar. I always talk about the kills, but I actually focus on the 3D one more than actually the original in this one. And I think the 3D remake has some cool kills. Call it X amount of years of technology, advancements, willingness, less chance of being punished by the ratings board.
Yeah.
Means they were able to go a little bit more harder on certain things. And I will point out one particularly, which is Tom Atkins' character getting a pickaxe through the chin and then it ripped off. It's a particularly lovely, well done scene. You know, the original does have some good ones as well, but not as memorable, I think.
No.
No, I don't think there's any. Even not that I would even say the 3D remake has memorable like kills, but this is kind of like they're more visually, aesthetically stand out and pleasing. That's an age thing more than anything else, you know.
And as well, the original version we watched, I think it was like the uncut.
Well, yeah, I don't want to get into that because we're going to talk about the hate side of things. But yeah, My Bloody Valentine suffered a fuckload of cuts back in the day. So if you do ever watch the original, try and make sure you find the uncut version so you get just those extra bits. Because without that, it's a far less bloodier movie. Yeah.
And so the stand-up characters really make these films. So I put the mayor and sheriff and the group of friends in 1981.
Yeah.
And in 2009, Axel, the actual. Well, he's a sheriff in the remake.
Yeah.
Almost, isn't he? The town.
Well, he is the sheriff.
Yeah.
He is the sheriff.
Yeah.
Not almost. He is the sheriff.
Yeah, sheriff always sounds really old-fashioned to me.
They're like, he shouldn't be that young. But it's a small town. Is used to point to another thing.
Yeah.
I think it's got some good characters. It's quite a large cast in the first one. And I think it does a solid job of... in fact, I'll tie into this one. And it's a very strong cast of believable characters in the 1981 film. For having so many, I think most stand out. Like, you can start picturing certain characters and actions. And there are scenes where it's not all about, the horror. It's not, I wouldn't say character development because they're all bare bones characters. Yeah, but you're getting a little bit more information, a little bit more time spent with them. Whereas the remake, I agree with you on the Axel thing. We'll get more into that again in a hate video.
Yeah.
But definitely, I think the 1981 film particularly has a strong set of characters. Yeah.
So the fact they actually cancelled, so 1981 again. So the fact they actually cancelled the Valentine's Day dance rather than going ahead with extra police or security, which I've seen some horror films where it's like, well, we'll keep it going, we'll keep it low key, and we won't tell the parent. Like, see what I mean?
Yeah.
Other thing, just to keep the film going, they keep the main event of the film going in that sense.
It also could have done the whole Jaws thing, which is the mayor's like, no, we need the money, so we're going to open the beach, everyone will be fine and all that, and he could have done that. He didn't. It's a matter of fact about, it can't go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that sends them to the mind, but still, they could have had deaths at the Valentine's Day dance where they go wandering off. Yeah,
but that's that plot development I don't mind because they are kids,
film teenagers.
Yeah, film teenagers, and they don't see the threat. They don't understand it. They weren't around for the original things. They might have heard tales, or it becomes ghost stories. Yeah, and they want to have a good time. They're looking forward to it. It's a small town where fuck all happens. Yeah, you know what I mean. It's a chance to drink in the edge. So I think it does work.
Yeah.
All right, going back to the bloodier side of the movies. I think both films. Now, I am going to reference what I did see originally, which was the uncut version of the 1981 movie, and also touch upon the 2009 3D remake, which is they both splash around the gore. And the reason why My Bloody Valentine was so heavily cut in 1981 was because it wasn't shy. It was very gory at times. now you know the version, if you do watch a version that's been chopped up a bit or has had a few scenes removed, you still get shots of hearts. You know, what look like very realistic hearts and stuff like that. Whereas the 2009 3D thing it's a bit more visceral. Like, I'm not talking about deaths, I'm talking about just where the body's laying there and it's blood.
Yeah.
And like, you know, the bit in the alleyway where they find the body of the girl who Axel is supposed to be having an affair with.
Oh, yeah.
And she's just like cutting the ribbons and that kind of level of blood, you know? I'm cool with that, yeah.
And the tumble dryer, the woman in the tumble dryer.
That's better than the original, yeah, you know. I think that's bloodier in the original, where in the 3D one, it goes more for the visual aesthetic of burnt.
Yeah. Like
that melted, that kind of thing, which, you know, yeah. So I think, yeah, if you're looking for a bit of gore, both films really provide.
Yeah. I like the idea it was a mine for like a new horror film setting.
Okay.
Bit different to like Woods or Creepy House.
Yep.
And also I learned that the real mine, it was a real set in a real town, and the real mine was used. When the locals found out it was going to be used for a film, they cleaned it all up. Spent ages cleaning it up. The team went in there, the film crew went in and went, that's too clean, and spent lots of money making it look grubby again.
Yeah. So
I thought that was quite entertaining. I was like, oh yeah, you're going to film in our town. Let's make it clean. No, we don't need that because it is a grubby old mine.
Yeah.
So yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, I mean, I got it as well. The setting of mine is cool. It's cool. It's not something by today's standards, nothing to get too particularly excited about, because ultimately it's just a mine. And it's a rocky place, and you can see anything like Descent and all that to have a similar sort of experience. But I think the original does it way better. I feel like the original really feels like a mine, whereas I feel like the 3D remake is more of a set.
Yeah, I think it was when I looked. I think that one is a set. So.
It looked like that part was the part they're staying. Whereas in the original they go a lot deeper and a lot further into it. That really gives it that mine feel. You see like rooms and things like that more, you know. So I like the setting too. Yeah.
Was your one next?
No, that was we doubled up. So
we doubled up. Yep. 1981 had good pacing. 2009 went from 0 to 100.
Yeah.
But that worked. I still didn't mind that. But there's a part of it that I'll get to in the hate about that. Yeah. But just overall, there's like different pacing to it. But I enjoyed both because again, it is a remake, so people do have their own creative input on it.
It's not even that, it's just the remake, it's the timing as well. It ticks a lot of, you know, I don't want to get too much into negatives, but it ticks a lot of this is what we needed to have done. Yeah. This is what you need to do for these 3D remakes and stuff like that. It is a much faster paced movie than I think the original as well. Yeah. A personal taste will be which you prefer on that front, you know. Okay, so go back to 1981 film, cliches before they were cliches. And while it has jump scares, done it over the top. Now, this is one of my favourite things. You know, you watch a movie like that, and it's just like you know, go back and watch a movie from the 80s, late 70s, and so on, and the cliches that we're so used to now. It's you watch them then, and you're like, oh god, you want to almost get annoyed with a film from the 80s for having those cliches, and then you kind of have to remind yourself, well, they weren't cliches at that stage. You know, they weren't so overdone and things like that. And I get that. I got that quite heavily in 1981. My Bloody Valentine, got the occasional jump scare as well, but nothing too excessive. Nothing, you know, by a modern day standard film either. Yeah.
The party in 1981 felt real. Yep. So there's arguments. There's a clown trying to like break up the tension. Yep. People sneaking off. Loads of cheap beer brought in, just putting on a cheap tape player. Yeah, I really felt like it was a real party. So. Felt like it was a real party. Yeah.
Struggling here, you know, with these ones.
No. I don't think that was a struggling one.
Okay,
it's
all right.
Big part of the film.
Yeah,
you have to believe that there's enough people that want to go party.
I appreciate the fact that there wasn't just like, oh, we've gone to the party and next scene is things are happening. Yeah. We actually quite a lot of scenes of just interaction and couples peeling off. Yeah. And, you know, usual horror movie stuff, fights. And they say the clown of that group, the tension breaking scene, is actually one of the better scenes of it because it's believable. Yeah, you know, it's been a little bit of an argy-bargy, and there's tension in the air, and someone cracks a joke. Yeah,
that's the party, man. Yeah. Get over it and get on with the party.
Yeah. Hilariously inept police. Now, this shouldn't be something I love. But in both movies, I think the police are just fucking shockingly bad at their jobs. Like, to the point where it's not even funny. Like, it's just to the point where it's funny and it becomes enjoyable. In the original, they do nothing. Like, absolutely nothing.
Yeah, there's hearts left, right and centre. They found someone in a tumble dryer. It's
like
just...
nothing. They literally seem to do absolutely nothing beyond cancelling a dance, and then at the end, seemingly spending ages driving towards a mine to then do nothing in there at all. In the obviously in the remake, the main focus is Axel as the sheriff, and he's got a whole different story. So again, his police side of things, but he's got his deputy for some reason they try and briefly pretend might be involved. Does nothing. Doesn't have it. Bodies turn up. Nobody. Basically, 2 films where bodies turn up left, right, and centre in his movies where there's a killer on the loose, and the police don't call in extra help. Don't. You know, it's just they're just terrible at their jobs. It's amazing, God Almighty, like how the townspeople let them get away with it. Yeah. I've got one more.
I've got number 10. Good at keeping you guessing who the killer was in both films.
Yeah.
And again, obviously, having the whole outfit helps with that. We knew that obviously it was mainly large men that worked in the mines for the most part. So it wasn't a case of that guy's tiny. It's clearly tiny. That's the killer. So yeah, it's like actual layer of suspense. So you've got the people going around being killed, and also, who's doing it? Like,
yeah, I'm gonna build on that. I don't have it. I'm gonna build on what you said by giving an explanation as to why I actually like both killer reveals. So the first one is very ambiguous. It's impossible to guess. It's a twist that you can never guess, and so it's a bad twist. Because a twist is, you can't just be like, angels came down and killed them. There's your twist. Well, if we couldn't, there's no rhyme or reason. The villain of the first one, is revealed to be like just a character in the movie who, might have been one of the suspect lists, but there was no rhyme or sense behind it. The twist reveals that his father was one of the ones killed.
in the original.
By the fuck, what's his name? I can't remember his name.
I want to say Dwayne. It's not Dwayne.
Not Dwayne. God no.
It's something. It's a W and a. It's.
I've forgotten the villain's name. Same villain name. So anyway, it's revealed that he was a kid hiding under the bed. No one could have guessed that because we never got any indication beyond that. So it's not a good twist, but it's a good killer reveal.
Yeah.
And it implies he might survive at the end and stuff like that. And I like that. The second one, I'm doing you now. The 3D remake. The killer is exactly who you expect it to be.
Yeah.
In that sense, like it's the most obvious character. However, what it does well is why.
Yeah.
Which is actually better than the original. Do you see what I mean? Like, if it wasn't for the fucking actor, and we'll get onto that in a hate video and certain things, that would have been probably knocked that over the original in regards to killers.
Yeah.
But I just love the explanation in the 3D one, whereas I don't like the explanation in the original. I just like the killer and the actor portrays him and stuff like that. Yeah, but that wasn't mine. My last one it's very simple, and you already mentioned it actually briefly, which is a tumble dryer death in the 1981 film, but actually how you can see it coming and how if you pay attention to that entire scene. So it's actually about a minute long, and it has the sheriff being useless, coming in there, looking around, and their hearts are turned upside down.
Yeah.
And there's 3 tumble dryers running, but if you pay attention, you see one's red.
Yeah.
You can see red, like there's blood inside.
Yeah.
And that I really like that. I think that's really, really cool because it builds up the tension of the tumble dryers running anyway. Because we know she's dead. Yeah. So who put those tumble dryers on?
Yeah.
Also, why did he put 3 on?
Yeah.
The idea, I presume, is from the filmmaker's standpoint, was to not, because it was one running, our eyes are drawn directly to it, and then there's no big shock reveal when he opens it.
Yeah.
Whereas I think if you're, like, so you're paying attention and you notice the blood, you might be like, oh, okay. Yeah, I like it. I think it's probably the most memorable
definitely
death across all of them. All of them.
Yeah, I mean, for me, the one, because I like when people like jaws and bones being ripped off, so the jaw one was pretty like, ooh.
Yeah, but that shit's 10 a penny to me. It's cool, and I like it, and as much because I like Tom Atkins, so having it happen to him was cool. But no, it's definitely the Tom Atkins. Yeah. There you go. 10 things we love about My Bloody Valentine and My Bloody Valentine 3D. Make sure you check out. We'll be going into a lot of detail about it. The hate video that'll be up next week. Okay. Let us know what you think of these movies in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. You can check us out on gbhbl.com as well as on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and Tumblr. Go to Patreon to help us out over there. That's patreon.com/gbhbl as well as Big Cartel, where you can find some of our merchandise. We have a podcast running on SoundCloud and Apple Podcasts. And of course, if you like this video, do us a favour, hit the subscribe button and help the channel grow. Games, horror, and heavy metal. What else is life for?